All right, we should be live. Is my stream live? They made me do some weird verification stuff I've never done before. Let's see. Is my stream? Okay, no, we look like we're live. All right. That was strange. All right, what's going on, Alan? It's Reesh. Good to see you guys. How's Atlas doing? We need to keep an eye on Atlas. Pulling back a little bit. I took an Atlas trade here not too long ago, probably about 20 minutes ago or so. I like the way that we're kind of consolidating through this downtrend. We reclaimed the 50, reclaimed the OTS trail. We did reclaim the pivot when I did take the trade, but we did lose the pivot after the trade. So a little weak. What I like about Atlas is you can see a pretty strong sell-off, right? But the anchored VWAP is very flat, meaning that the sell volume is extremely weak. The sellers are not getting a whole lot of volume to push this lower. Another thing is, if you take a Fibonacci from the open, this is a perfect 618 retest. And then we have a couple of dojis here to kind of confirm that the buyers are stepping in down here. So I do like the risk to reward here. It is very risky. I have a very tight stop loss, but risking anywhere from 6 to 10% to make 40% is a very good risk to reward that I think. So we're going to hold on to it, see how it plays out. As far as SPY and Qs go, a little bit of a bearish day. You had kind of a double distribution towards the open. You had two main nodes, one towards the high, one towards the low. And then the low node was lost with some bad news. It's kind of hard to track down exactly what the bad news was. You had the reverse repo. You had a couple of different Fed discussions. You had the new coronavirus strain discussion as well. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly why we failed there. Could be an accumulation of kind of all of them. But once you lost that low, you lost the POC of yesterday, you lost the value area low of today, you had a couple of single prints come in because you had strong sell pressure push you down, and then now we're forming a pretty strong node down here that actually created a nice little 5-minute bull div. You can see kind of like from this low to this low, this is an exaggerated move, giving you that bull div, right? So the buyers are stepping in down on the lows. If you can get back above this little single print zone where you saw that very strong sell pressure, we should be bullish again. Pretty much the same thing for Qs. The single print zone on Qs is not as big, kind of right around where we're about to test right now. So if we can get it back, if we can get back above that single print zone, that'll show you that the sellers are kind of just losing steam. And this little node that we're putting in down here, you haven't shifted the POC down like you did on SPY. So you didn't get too much volume down here. Very, very close. If you pull back to retest this, it will shift the POC. But for now, we are actually retracing inside the value area low. So we could see the I was going to say POC, but POC is up here. We could see the node be tested right here around 380.90, and then you could see the POC around 381.70. But for now, I definitely would say you're slightly bullish as long as you maintain above this little node right here. As far as Bitcoin goes, you had a nice little bounce earlier right off the 200, but you're pulling back now. Very low momentum though. You could put in another bull div here and then push higher. It looks almost identical to the 1 hour chart on Atlas, where you have that accumulation kind of breaking the downtrend, breaking the OTS trail. You're also holding right around a 1 hour pivot. So if we do start to gain some price here, you would be pushing away from that 1 hour pivot. This would be very bullish. But you can see the last like 3 days, POC, POC, POC. So we're right around the same exact level that we've been trading on the past 3 days, the main level, right? Anywhere from like 46.1 to 46.7. You have a lot of volume being traded here. So if you really want to start to push above this POC on the nuke, but you also have this node right here. If you zoom in, you have this big node right here from today. So we need to start pushing above like 47.1. And that would be a major level to break out of. How is Atlas doing? Let's keep an eye on it. Very low volume. Little nasty wick there, but it got bought up. Yeah, almost a 2% wick. I've been waiting on another 30-minute ES pivot. We're retesting an old pivot, but it hasn't put in a new one. These are very easy scalps if you guys trade futures. You could trade these with like SPY lottos, like SPY options contracts as well, but much better on futures because you don't have theta decay. But if you see the 30-minute pivots come in on ES, they will almost always give you a 5 to 10 point bounce. So if you took this for like a 10-point bounce, like look how easy that was. Very easy 10 points. That gave you 34. But look at every single blue pivot. You're going to get at least 10 points usually. You can see all the bounces here. Sometimes they'll fail a little early. So it's not going to happen every single time, but very often you will get that 10-point push. What's going on, Mucky? Not sure if you guys saw my tweet. I'll pull it up here for you guys that didn't. We're going to start a little trading competition for crypto. Let me grab my tweet here. So if you guys are interested in joining the competition, check that out. I can read over the details real quick. But basically, if you sign up to, it's an FTX US competition. So you have to sign up to the FTX US platform. We posted a link there in the tweet. Deposit at least $1,000. It doesn't really matter exactly how much because the winner is going to be determined on percentage, not on dollar gain. So as long as it's $1,000, you should be okay. And then DM me your account number so I can confirm that you signed up. And then DM me your TradingView username so I can give you access to the trading bot because it's going to be a competition mainly to test the trading bot. And then we're going to pick 2 winners on October 1st based on highest percentage return. So let's say you put in $1,000 and you get to 2,000. That's obviously 100%, right? So we're not going to base it on dollar gained. It's going to be percentage gained, okay? The top 2 traders will get $250 in FTT each. So each number 1 and number 2 will get $250 of FTT. And then you'll also get 3 months access to the Oasis Trading Group, which comes with all of our indicators as well. So make sure to check that out if you guys are interested in a little competition. Should be a fun time. I'm going to participate as well, but I am mostly going to be doing automated trading. So I'm not going to be discretionary trading. I'm going to be letting the bot trade. I'm probably going to pick a few things that look good, and then I'm going to let the bot handle it. So no margin trading. Is there no margin trading on FTX US like at all? Like is there not even like 3x? I've never traded on FTX US. I'm going to start to pretty soon. Is the blue candle done by the special code? Yeah, the blue candles are the OTS pivots that I was talking about. There is no margin at all? Okay. What I might do, if we don't have a lot of signups for the US side, I'll send you guys the link for the other side, just the regular FTX side. But I would prefer FTX US, so we'll see how it goes. I want to get at least like 10 to 20 traders involved. So depending on how many people we have sign up, if we don't hit our like 10 to 20, then I'll expand the requirements. Can you short on FTX US? I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, pretty sure you can. FTX US just limits margin. So like you can't do a like high leverage trading. And they don't have as many coins to trade. So they don't have like every single asset. The reason I'm doing FTX US for this one and not just regular FTX is because FTX, the regular site, has been doing a lot of KYC for traders. So I thought I'd make it easier and just do the FTX US. Because if you're going to KYC, you might as well make an FTX US account. You're not going to be able to run from FTX for forever. You know what I mean? That is interesting, though, John, that you said there's no leverage at all. I thought there was at least 2 to 3x. I thought it was limited. I might see if we can do another exchange, maybe like Delta. I'll take a look at it. Because small account challenges are a little difficult if you can't use leverage. Let's keep an eye on Atlas. It's our only open crypto position right now. They do offer up to 10x if you meet their qualifications. Let me actually take a look around the platform real quick. I've never used their US side. So do they not have perpetuals on their US side? It looks like it's all spot based. Yeah, they don't have any perpetuals. Interesting. Yeah, we might have to move the competition to Delta. So don't sign up just yet, guys. I might have to move that. We'll take a look. I'll make a new announcement after stream once I look into it. Qs might shift our POC here if we pull back a little bit lower and it hangs out around this level. It's going to shift the POC down. Jonathan, are there qualifications identity based or account value based to get that 10x leverage? Do you have to have like X amount in your account, or is it just based on doing their KYC? Because if based on how much you have in your account, that's not going to work for the small account challenge. Facebook, the only FANG stock holding up, still holding green today, looks pretty good too. Pretty close to the high day. Our shippers also doing well today. Zim up 4%, Maddox up 1.25, NMM up almost a 2. So continuing their grind. This thing's just going straight up. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Maddox going straight up. NMM lagging a little bit, but you still have plenty of room to go to get to all-time high. Excuse me. All-time high would give you another 20%, and then we're talking about a break of all-time highs. It get even more. Doordash, we've been talking about Doordash a lot recently. Talked about it on the summary of markets. You had the breakout of our 195, hit our 200 target. Next target is 215. Definitely keep an eye on Doordash. Looks pretty strong. Nice little day on Penn as well. Penn didn't do too bad. Up almost 2%, kind of recovering, sticking into that range. Airbnb, like we always say, loves to follow Doordash. So if Airbnb breaks this little 167 level, you should be able to get like 170, 177. Thanks for the shippers. My Zim's working well. Looking for the other two. Looking at the other two. Yeah, Zim is crazy, man. Just doesn't stop. You have another boat stuck in the Suez. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's ridiculous. And then we had, Johnny was talking about it. We had reports that the winter goods were going to be delayed because of all the backups in the shipping world. Demand is sky high, supply is maxed out. What we call a supply crunch, and that makes prices skyrocket. So. Okay, Jonathan. Yeah, so I might have to switch the competition to another exchange. I didn't know that. Because of the small account challenge, you need to be able to trade leverage. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you need to trade at least like 3 to 5x. We might look at moving to Delta. I know Delta's the other big one. Or we might just use the regular FTX site. But I know a lot of people were getting kicked off. That's why most of our small account challenges we do on crypto, because you can use leverage. We've done a few on stocks. One was an options one. We did one was a penny stock one. Because options is basically using leverage. And then penny stocks, you don't really need leverage because they move so much, right? So the only time we do them on equities is typically either options or or pennies. Airbnb getting really close to breaking out here. Gonna look at XTZ. I'll take a look. Tezos. Some Tezzies. Nice breakout today, up 21%. Beautiful tweezer that you could have predicted that breakout with. Breaking above VWAP, OTS trail. Kind of retesting the original range here. We have a little bit of a range kind of from here to here. You can see we're back inside the low of the range, but we're filling the middle of the range. So a little bit of resistance there. Get above like 557. Could see 590 around that pivot. And then you break above the range. Then we're talking about hitting some upper levels around $7 probably. This is basically just a throwback into the range. Looks pretty good. Got to keep an eye on our baby Atlas. It's just not doing much right now, no volume. High risk trade, but extremely high reward, so it's worth it. Not the cleanest setup, but I think once we start to find some value above like 14.7, right above this pivot, this thing should just start rocketing. You can see the OTS trail on the 1 hour is very good on altcoins at determining trends. And we just flipped green, so we just need to get that breakaway to make sure this is not like a range. This could very well turn into a range where we see like this become the low, this become the high, and then we just sit here and just range nonstop. Excuse me. So very easily could get stopped out here. My stop is kind of like below the trail. But what it could turn into, if it's not a range, is if we look at these wicks here, you can either look at like these, or you can ignore this one and take these here. This would probably be more prevalent. But it looks like an ascending triangle almost, where we have these higher lows, and then we have the flat top. Ascending triangles are typically on up moves though, right? Where we have a flat top, and then you put the lows in like this. So it's more of a continuation pattern, not a reversal pattern. So that's why it's a little scary. It's not the greatest pattern here, but it's the same mentality. If we can hold above the top of the flat top, then we should continue higher, right? And where are we going to go to if we do break that level? Very likely going to go to the pivot. So around, what is that, 19 cents. You could also very likely go to the anchored VWAP around 20 cents. So the risk reward here is disgustingly high, right? Your risk is very little and your reward is massive. Even if you took the first target, you're looking at a where is the other tool? I need this one here. You're looking at a over 5-to-1 risk to reward if you get the first target. If you get the second target, you're looking at almost a 7-to-1, 40% return if you retrace the VWAP, which it very likely can do. So I like this trade a lot. Probably a little early. You could wait for a break of the flat top. The problem is when it breaks that flat top and closes above it, it's probably not going to give you a very good entry. It's probably just going to go straight up. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, Death's Gardener, I missed this yesterday. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if you're watching today, but you did give me a Prime sub on Twitch. I do appreciate that, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate you using your free sub on me. Thank you very much. Sorry I missed it. Once I have my office fully set up, I do need to do a few things for YouTube and get it all set up for like alerts and get some emotes and stuff like that. USD JPY coming down pretty hard today. You guys see Lulu today? Lulu rocketing on earnings. Massive move up. Bitcoin beautifully holding the monthly VWAP. As long as we hold here, it's not too bad. We're waiting on a buy signal above the ribbon. So when you're using the bot like this, typically you don't want to use it on low time frames anyway, but if you are, you need to understand the buy signals need to come when you're flipping into an uptrend, right? So these would be more buy signals to close your sell, not to go long, because you're hitting resistance. So we're waiting for this to get back above the ribbon here, then give you a buy signal, because you're currently in a sell. So this looks really good. The sell is getting weak, so the sell is in a at a loss, which is good for our long, right? So once this flips into a buy, if it's above the trend, that should be very strong. We don't have a signal on the daily, sadly, because it's not old enough. Did that daily sell signal close on Bitcoin? It did. So this signal closed. You can't see it because of the take profit. I can turn that off. Yeah, there's the sell signal there. So that is closing the buy. giving you minimum of 34%. And then if you use the take profits, could have had a maximum of 55%. So very, very good trade there. The hard part, we were just talking about this in Discord yesterday. The hard part is it going to become a sell signal like one of these, where they ended up giving you a massive move down? Or is it going to be a sell signal like these, where they're just closing buys? So typically what I look for when I'm determining is it a flip signal or is it just a close your current trade signal? You want to look for the trend, right? Are you still in a strong trend? So these, you are still trending upward very strongly. You're above the ribbon the entire time. So these sell signals could have been used as take profits, and then you wait for the next buy signal to get back in your trade. This one here, as you can see, the ribbon is flipping red, and we're way below our trend. Like our trend has completely failed at that point. So you could have taken this one, or you could have taken this one as a short signal. Then you're looking for the buys as a take profit. Then we have this sell here where you're hitting the ribbon. So it's a very hard call. This would be, in my eyes, more of a close the long, not an enter a short, because you are sitting on a massive support. So I probably wouldn't short here unless you had some confirmation on like lower time frames. But it's more of a close your long. And if we look at the 3-day, the 3-day has not closed its long yet. So that shows you that we're still kind of in an uptrend. And then if we look at the weekly, same thing. We have not closed our buy signal. So it is still uptrending for sure. Atlas slowly starting to push up. Back up about 2% from the lows. If we pushed a little bit lower during this sell-off, like maybe one or two more candles, it probably would have put in a new blue pivot. But since it started to kind of bottom on this old pivot, it didn't give us a new one. Kind of unfortunate there. But as long as this pivot holds at 4495, it should be pretty bullish. You can see all these wicks that you got off this pivot. Yeah, easy 5 points like 3 different times. These pivots are great for scalping if you're paying attention to the 30-minute. Yeah, same thing on NASDAQ. Look at NASDAQ, perfectly bottomed on that pivot. Gave you 50 points off that pivot. That's good. Dow Jones, same thing. It's funny how all the indexes, the pivots line up almost exactly. You are also sitting on the 200 EMA on SPY 30. Very good indicator of your trend. 30-minute 200 EMA. Beautiful double bottom here off the 200. Nice little pump here on SPY and ES. What a slow week. We need some more volume on Atlas. Look at how abysmal the volume is. Everything's probably waiting for Bitcoin to pick a direction. The candles are being colored by the indicator. That's why sometimes when they're going down, they're red, and when they're going up, or sorry, when they're going up, they're red, and when they're going down, they're green. Sometimes they're not exactly the same, right? Because the indicator is overriding. Like this is coming from the OTS. If I turn that off, then you have the regular candles, right? The regular candles are very choppy, very hard to look at. And then you throw on the OTS, and it color codes them based on a formula that I use. Hey, Brett. Just wanted to say a massive thank you for the series of tutorials on volume profile. No problem, man. I'm happy to help. I'm glad you liked the videos. I actually never got around to finishing editing the last 2 videos. I need to do that now. It was a nightmare moving my my office and whatnot. I'm pretty much back to completely set up. I just need to set up one more monitor and then we're good to go. And then I've got a lot of stuff on my list I got to do. We got a competition coming up. We got the bot releasing. Got to edit those videos. I want to restart the newsletter. That was really stupid that thing got canceled because of the stupid rules on sending newsletters with crypto information. It's really dumb. We got a lot of stuff coming. Make sure to hit that like button, guys, if you guys enjoy the content. It does help out a lot on the channel. I do appreciate it if you guys can hear me. Please hit that like button. We should be back to pretty much normal on the streams. I know I had to take a few days off last week and this week. But from now on, we should be back to normal, 3 p.m. Eastern pretty much every day. Might be some very rare exceptions, but pretty much you guys will see me 5 days a week. If crypto gets hot again, maybe we'll do some late night trading streams for crypto, but it's been pretty slow recently. Only been a couple of names have been pumping. Equities hasn't been much better. Whole market has been a little slow. Somebody was asking me earlier why I haven't been taking as many trades as I used to, like in the Discord, and there's just not that many trades out there, right? Like past few quarters, we had a lot more opportunities. Right now, they're very hard to come by. But the trades that I am taking, we've been winning almost every trade. We haven't lost a trade really since we had the cruise lines that we took a little while ago. We had the retail sector that we took a little while ago. We lost those. Besides that, pretty much every play that we've taken recently has been fire. We had Chewy, we had PayPal, we had SPY and Qs, we had the shippers, which are going to be the biggest trade of the year. The shippers are absolutely insane. So hopefully you guys made some money on that. What else did we have recently? Let me look at my channel. We had a Bitcoin trade the other day, Ethereum. That's pretty much it. The shippers, PayPal, Chewy, I mentioned those. Oh yeah, Netflix. That was the big one I was missing. Big trade on Netflix. We're still holding some Netflix on our long term. I have a trailing stop on Netflix. If you start to hold below like this gap fill around 590, I'll probably start to close up some long-term shares. And then if you start to bounce off the pivot, maybe I'll buy them back. But I don't mind buying them back around like the 550 to probably 500 range. But this would be a nice little breakout to take some profit. SPY and Q is getting a lot of volume here towards the low. Give you guys a little screenshot here, what I'm looking at. Nice little volume spike here. See if it can hold on to it. Same thing on Qs. Not bouncing just yet. By the way, guys, now that we've finished the kind of volume profile segment that we did for a few weeks, and we had that new series that we made, if you guys have any ideas for like stuff you want me to cover on stream or any new ideas for like series that you want me to do, feel free to let me know. Brett said, I also watched your ExoCharts video, struggling to wrap my head around it. Does it play a big part in your trading? No, I don't use ExoCharts anymore. The stuff that I talk about in the ExoCharts videos is pretty much the same thing that I covered in the new volume profile series. It's just they have different tools to kind of showcase the information that I'm covering. So like they have like Delta, they've got TPO, they've got tick charts, stuff like that, right? But it's all it's all in the same realm of like volume profile, order flow trading. So if you watch the volume profile series and you understand that, that's pretty much the same exact thing that I'm covering in the ExoCharts videos. No buyers on Atlas. No sellers really either. Just completely dead. SPY getting a little bit of a sell-off into the close. 3 minutes left. Where's that 30-minute pivot? Are we still above that? No, we actually lost the 30-minute pivot. So that's pretty weak going into tomorrow. We'll have to see how the post-market and pre-market reacts. But definitely not looking too good. Basically, the past 15 minutes has been straight down. I wonder if this mandatory vaccination stuff is one of the reasons we're going down so much today. Because they just released another statement that said Biden to tell large employers to mandate vaccines or require weekly testing and new plan to combat COVID-19. I think it's just a accumulation of that, the Fed talks. What else did we say earlier today? There was one other thing. What was it? It was the Fed talks and something else earlier. It was the talks about inflation. They're saying it may take more time for inflation to ease. They also, this morning, they talked about how they might push back the taper because of all the inflation and whatnot, the numbers coming out. But I don't think they plan to have the taper this year anyway. They're just saying that to manipulate the market. I really don't see them tapering before the next year at the minimum. All right, very weak close on SPY, very weak close on Qs. ES closing below the 30-minute pivot. NASDAQ not below it just yet. Dow Jones also holding on to it, so not too bad. VIX was up 4% today. You had the dollar coming down though, which is interesting. Where is it? The USD JPY down about 0.5%. So this is not due to the dollar pumping. That's not what's causing the pullback in the market. Facebook, the only green company out of the FANG today, and it's barely green, 0.1%. Netflix down 1.5%. Pretty bad day for Netflix. Netflix loves to fill its gaps, like we always say, so most likely going to come down to 590 before going any higher. But all right, guys, I'm going to call it a stream on that. I appreciate you guys all being here as always. Make sure if you guys are new to the stream to hit that subscribe button. I stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are in Discord, I'm going to post the analysis right after I end stream. Make sure to keep an eye on the analysis channel. That will be updated with our daily watch list. If you guys are interested in joining the Discord, take a look at the first link in the description below. Our Discord analysis tier is only $1 a day. So check that out if you guys are interested in getting some daily watch lists, some trade ideas, etc. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're not in Discord, it will be 3 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are in Discord, I'll see you guys in the morning at 9:30. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. See you later.